Hey guys, we're back again for another Marvel Legends review, trying to hit this Netflix slash Marvel Nights slash whatever you want to call it wave pretty hard to knock them out. We're going to take a look at, I guess, maybe the main character from this wave. We've got Daredevil from the Netflix series. This is a figure that I think a lot of people were looking forward to because the show is such a hit, and he does look pretty damn cool. I'm a huge fan of the Netflix series and a big fan of the direction they took this costume. So let's take a look here and see what he's got. He's got a few little quirks about him that I really like, and one thing in particular that I kind of don't, but overall, pretty cool figure. So we're going to take a look at articulation first, as is the norm. He can swivel pretty good. Well, not that far. Pretty good looking head in terms of going backwards, and then looks down really far. Arms can go all the way out. Swivel, normal stuff there. Bicep rotation. We have got double jointed elbows, and then we have got hinged and rotating wrists. They are both horizontal side to side hinges. We've got an ab crunch. He's got like one click backwards and then a few forward. We have got waist twist, but he's one of those kind of thin figures, or relatively just normal figures, where he looks kind of funny if you twist him too far. As far as legs, they go out about that far, side to side, and then 90-degree forward and a decent bit backwards. Certainly not blade territory here. We have got rotation at the thigh, and then we've got double jointed knees. He's got nothing at the boot, but he has fully rotating ball jointed ankles. So the ankle itself rotates, and then the foot, I guess at this point, would be on a forward-facing pin for rocker, and overall it's got that normal hinge. So I like that little added bonus there. That's one of the little quirks about this figure in particular that I really like. I know it's not something we get very often, and it's very helpful with this figure. It lets you pose him pretty decently. As far as the sculpt goes, this guy had to have been done with digital sculpting. I mean, obviously the face is the photoreal tech that they've got, but there is so much sculpted detail in every bit of this figure because of the type of suit he has. If you're familiar with the show, you know what he looks like, but there is just little sculpted line work, little tiny detail all over the figure. You can see it in the reflection on the light on the black. You can probably hear that. There's a lot of sculpted detail just everywhere on every bit of this figure, except for kind of the shin guards down here, and then on the wrist guards as well. So I really, really, really think they did a very good job with the sculpt, and the suit itself lends it to just being a good figure to sculpt. He's wearing more body armor type of a suit here, so it's not really like a skin tight suit, although it is, but at the same time it lends itself to having kind of a plate armor look in certain ways because of how the suit itself is structured, and then all those little bits of detail really kind of bring him out. He's got all these sculpted buckles, and then I do like the kind of forearm guards, and then the shin boot level guards that he's got there. Obviously the head is a big area for the photoreal textile figures, and I'll take a minute to talk about the actual helmet that he wears, because he's got the helmet in the show, and I think it's a really cool design. You can see on the back there's a lot more sculpted work inside that black area, and then we've got the sculpted horns, and overall I think again the hood, the helmet kind of lends itself to a pretty decent sculpt for this figure. Where he kind of fails is in the face. So the sculpt is fine. It's more of the paint. So kind of go to paint now. So as far as paint goes, it's kind of all over. The eyes look really good, but the lips look like he got stung by a bee, and then his stubble, his 5 o'clock shadow, is just kind of all over the place. It's like a 10-year-old shaven for the first time or something. So it's just kind of all over there, and it's not terrible. Don't get me wrong, it's not terrible by any means. It's just kind of, they could have done better based on the other figures in this wave. This is kind of a letdown in that regard. But overall, taken as a complete package, the sculpt on this guy is pretty cool. Now, as far as paint goes, I mean, there's not tons. Most of it is in kind of some of the black areas. I've seen a few unfortunate figures out there where the blacks on the chest are kind of misaligned, so they're not in the right spot. But for the most part, my figure looks pretty nice, except for the weirdness with the stubble. I can get over the lips on the mouth, It's that stubble that just looks kind of weird to me. And then the rest of the figure in terms of paint, though, is pretty nice with just some blacks. Most of the figure is cast in his kind of dark maroon red color. Now, as far as accessories go, we have got his fighting sticks. They do combine, so you can make one long one. And this is kind of the thing we've seen with Daredevil for a while. We've seen him with the other Daredevil figures. Somebody else had them recently, and now that I think about it, I can't remember who it was. So somebody else has had them. Not that that helps me at the moment. They can be put in the holster on the side of his left leg, and then if you want to store them. And then he does come with extra hands, so we've got 2 open hands to hold the sticks, and then we've got 2 fist hands. So overall, in terms of accessories, he's kind of got what you expect. I mean, the only other thing they really could have given us is maybe an unused hood, because he does hold his mask from time to time. Ultimately, I really like this figure. I do obviously have some little nitpicky problems with the face paint, but I can get over that. It's not a huge deal. The figure itself, though, is pretty nice. I like the style of the character, which really helps, liking the figure in general, especially when it's a well-done figure, and this is definitely well done. I love the inclusion of ball-jointed ankles. I think they're a very nice touch. Adds a little something special to this guy, and overall, he's a good lead character for this wave, and that's really what he is. He's the main draw for sure. I don't think anybody can dispute that. So that is going to do it for this look at the Marvel Legends Netflix Daredevil from Hasbro. Let me know what you guys think down below. Feel free to like, share, subscribe to that whole thing for me, and until next time.